Hey guys, how y'all doing? Hope everybody's good. We are back for another Powerbomb podcast, and this time we're going to cover the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view. I still can't get rid of the name. And I also have some wrestling-related pickups that I'm going to show. As I said when these originally started, anything that I get wrestling-wise, whether it be shoot interviews or pay-per-views on Blu-ray or like profile pieces on Blu-ray that has to do with wrestling, I'll show those here. So before we get into the actual show, go ahead and show the interviews that I got. And I want to take a quick second to say thank you to my homeboy, Mr. Chad Arms. He has been a great help in helping me to track down Blu-rays and other stuff that I don't have, and because he is liquidating most of his stuff, because he's kind of sending his collection into another direction, we've kind of bonded over the collecting of things, and he always kind of gives me first crack at everything, which, Chad, I understand, I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. Thank you very much for everything you do for me, what you do for everybody else, and kind of de facto being my guide in this whole, movie and Blu-ray collecting universe that I got into. Actually, I got into collecting, and I've been in collecting long time before this, but I actually got into making videos and things like that not too long after I watched one of his videos. So appreciate it. Thank you very much for all these come from him. Thanks for all you do, man. I wouldn't be where I am collection wise without you, and you're just a real good dude. Anyway, I got 5 shoot interviews from him, and for those of you that don't know what a shoot interview is, it is an interview that is done not in character and basically telling the truth, not furthering storylines. So I got 5 here. He gave me a good deal on these, and as soon as I get more money, I'll probably see if he still has some more of these, because he had a lot of them, and I just picked up on the 5 that I saw that I wanted to see. So here you go. First one is and I haven't watched any of these because they just came in. They just came in along with a bunch of other stuff that I got from them. And so here you go. First one is a Ric Flair shoot interview. This is 3 discs. Can't wait to sit down and watch this one. Put those right there. Next one, Bret Hart shoot interview. This one I really, same way. Can't wait to see this. Next we have Paul Orndorff. A lot of my newer people won't know who this dude is, but can't wait to watch this one because he's got a lot of interesting stories to tell. Next, we have a 2-disc Matt Hardy shoot interview. Now this isn't I don't think anyway. He and Jeff did a series of interviews. I forget what they were called. In the early 2000s, I think. But I don't think these are them. So, can't wait to see this one. That's Matt. And, of course, couldn't complete the set without Jeff. So I got all those shoot interviews to watch. and enjoy and whatever. So with that said, Jesus Christ, we're 5 minutes in and I haven't actually gotten to the show yet. Go figure. Let's get into the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view. First, they started with the pre-show match, which was for the Cruiserweight title, Akira Tozawa and Neville. Now Neville took the win here, but to be honest with you, I actually like the Titus O'Neil Akira Tozawa pairing because it gives Titus something to do to be relevant, and B, Tozawa, it gives him a little bit more depth, and makes his character more layered. So I like that. And anything that gives new people that haven't really been featured in storylines, a chance to kind of, get into a storyline and show what they can do, whether it be on the mic or in the ring or wherever, is fine by me. And I can't wait to see more from the Titus and Tozawa pairing, because I think there's money there if it's done right, and so far, to me at least, it has. So hope for more there. Next we go to the actual pay-per-view. They opened the show with Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins, which surprised me. In my opinion, the Cruiserweight title match was good enough that it should have, by all rights, been the one to open the pay-per-view. And that's a testament to what those two guys can do. And just as an example, if you wanted to throw together, which is what most of these pre-show matches are, you're just thrown together. For an example, you could put Kurt Hawkins and Kalisto, on the pre-show and be good. Now, I say that now, and I said that not knowing what would actually happen later. So I will get into that later. They did something with Hawkins later as part of a angle. So I actually wrote that down before I even knew that was going to happen. Wyatt won. Match was good, but wasn't great, I thought. Seth, I thought, had some pretty impressive strength moves, given that Bray is way over 300 pounds and Seth is barely 200, even though he's announced at 217. Dude is not 217. Dude is barely over 200, but I don't take umbrage with that because in wrestling, not just WWE, they tend to, flub the weights a little bit to make the guy seem bigger. But yeah, my cousin's 220 and is 3 times Seth's size, so he's probably closer to 200 than 217. Let's see. Next we had Enzo and Cass. And Enzo cut a promo during this match that did more to sell the match than they did leading up to this. Enzo's mouth is where his money is. I don't think that his in-ring work it will ever be where his money is, but that's cool, and if they wanted to transition him into the Cruiserweight title, I think he would be a perfect fit there. He wrestled a perfect style for the Cruiserweights. Let's see. Cass wins in the pretty much squash that this had to be to get him over, as a heel and as kind of a monster. There's still work to be done with that, but this worked for what it was. But as I said before, Enzo's mouth was the star here. Next you had Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Hardys, and this was the 2 out of 3 falls match. I think seriously that Naomi should sue Sheamus for gimmick infringement, because when the lights go out and his spotlight comes on, the motherfucker glows, okay? Seriously, the motherfucker glows. Let's see. I thought the opening of this match was done really well. Sheamus scored the first fall, or this was not a 2 out of 3 falls match, this was an 30-minute Iron Man match. God damn it. Sorry, my brains are scrambled and but I thought it was really well laid out for the first part, at least in the first couple of minutes, because Sheamus scored a fall in the first 25 seconds of the match. I thought, oh, cool, this is going to be an awesome match. And then after that, it turned into a 20-minute squash for Cesaro and Sheamus, and it didn't really pick up until the last 10 minutes when you had all the fast, furious action. Cesaro and Sheamus ended up winning the match 4 falls to 3 and retaining the tag titles. Next, you had Sasha and Alexa. Now, I love both chicks, okay? I've made no bones about it. I love both chicks. But just because I love both chicks doesn't mean I can't call it when I see it. This match was total weak shit from both of them. Not just from Alexa, not just from Sasha, both of them. Let's see. The best part of the match was the little angle that was done afterwards. After Alexa got herself counted out. And Sasha put the beat down. If this beat down could have been a part of the actual match probably would have been better, and it wouldn't have been such weak shit from both of these two. And I like both, like I said. Next we had Miz versus Ambrose for the Intercontinental title. I thought going in that this was going to be great, because these two always have, good matches, but in my opinion, they've done better with each other. And then I kind of, had this thought to myself, what the fuck is the deal with this show and the GFW style shotgun booking? Good lord. Next you had Roman and Braun, and I love Braun Strowman. This match was the best of everything that you expect from these two. Neither of these guys get the credit for being as good in the ring as they are, especially Braun for being the size that this motherfucker is. And Roman's works a lot better than people give him credit for as well. This was everything you wanted a knockdown, drag-out brawl to be. Braun got kind of a fluky win, or at least that's the way they set it up. At the end, Roman came out of the ambulance, speared Braun into it, shut the door, got in the ambulance, took it out into the parking lot, backed into a truck. They literally had to use, and everybody sold this shit well. The commentators, everybody. They had the fire department with the jaws of life. They even, to kill time, had sent another match out. They sent Heath Slater and Kurt Hawkins, and this goes back to what I was talking about in my example earlier, out to kind of sell, the seriousness and the holy shitness of the angle. And Slater wins in 2 minutes, which is fine. They only showed about 10 seconds of the actual match, and I thought a really, really, really nice touch here was the fact that they showed the guys coming to the ring still putting their gear on. So it kind of got over the idea that these guys didn't know what the fuck they were going to have to do. So, they just threw it together. And they, both guys kind of sold it well. Everybody, to include Slater and Hawkins, in their little bit part in the angle, did an awesome job to get this shit over. I actually like that they used other guys in bit parts to help to sell this. I wish they would do more of that. And yeah, I just thought it was really, really well executed by everybody involved, right down and including Hawkins and Slater. Those guys sold it well, and you didn't see the match, but it did what it was supposed to do to help further the angle. Alright. Next, we had Joe versus Brock. I thought the match layout in this was just excellently done. Joe ate Lesnar's lunch for 99% of the match. Thought the ending was bullshit though. To have Brock in the clutch, and then all of a sudden just Superman it and stand up and hit an F5 and boom, it's over. It's a bullshit finish to me. Joe carried the match. Brock's best days of putting on good matches with people are well behind him, in my opinion. Now, going into SummerSlam, I'm thinking it's probably going to be a 4-way for the title, and that's probably good because Brock is so lazy and blown up and roided up that it'll probably take 3 people to carry him to a good match. I wonder if he'll pay any of their chiropractic bills for having to carry his ass. Final thoughts on this show. This show was majority of it was shit. And I try not to shit on the product too much, but I also know that I can call stuff for what it is. Ambulance match was awesome. Joe's dominance of Lesnar was fucking awesome, even though the finish was bullshit. And that finish isn't Joe's fault, by the way. Match of the night for this show goes to the ambulance match between Braun and Roman. And if they were giving bonuses for match of the night, I would slip a little extra to Hawkins and Slater as well, because they did very, very well as well in their little bit part there. So there you go. That is the Powerbomb covering my wrestling pickups and the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view. I will see you for Battleground in a couple of weeks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for fostering. Thanks for allowing me to do what I do. Without y'all, I couldn't do this. So I love y'all. Peace.